not the right, I've always aimed to cut through the noise and get to the heart of issues that mainstream media too often tiptoes around. Today, I'm here to talk about something that's been glaringly obvious to many, but still too few are willing to admit: the United States' relentless pursuit of control over Middle Eastern oil, and how it's driving its support of Israel's increasingly brutal actions against Palestinians, Lebanon, and Iran. Let's be honest, this is about power, resources, and dominance. The United States has a long history of using its influence in the Middle East to secure its interests, often at the expense of millions of lives. The current escalation in Gaza is no different. When President Joe Biden gave Israel an extra 30 days to continue its military campaign against Palestinians amid widespread condemnation from around the world, it wasn't just about standing with an ally. It was about ensuring the US remains the key player in controlling the region's most valuable asset: oil. The bigger picture, a regional war in the making. We've seen it before. US foreign policy, especially in the Middle East, is built on imperialistic foundations. We back regimes and governments that serve our interests and turn a blind eye when our allies commit atrocities, as long as it helps keep the global energy market in check. With Israel's relentless bombing of Gaza, its recent attacks on Lebanon, and tensions escalating with Iran, we are witnessing the slow build toward what could become a broader regional war. What's at stake here isn't just Israel's security or the Palestinian struggle for freedom. It's the control of one of the world's most vital economic arteries, the Suez Canal. If the conflict widens and we see more direct involvement from regional powers like Iran or Hezbollah in Lebanon, it's only a matter of time before the canal becomes a strategic target. And let's not forget, China, one of the world's largest oil consumers, relies on that very route for much of its energy needs. By keeping Israel as a proxy to police the region, the United States secures two critical outcomes. First, direct access to oil resources, and second, leverage over China. If the Suez Canal becomes a battleground in a regional war, guess who holds the cards? That's right, the United States. Our military presence in the region, bolstered by a close alliance with Israel, ensures we can throttle energy supplies to China and keep their economy at our mercy. The human cost. Of course, none of this comes without massive human suffering. The Israeli bombardment of Gaza, the attacks on Lebanon, and the looming threat of conflict with Iran all create an environment where civilian lives are expendable, collateral damage in the name of geopolitical dominance. Palestinian families have been decimated, while global leaders wring their hands and offer empty platitudes. Lebanon, still reeling from its own internal crises, is being hit by Israeli airstrikes under the guise of self-defense. And Iran, the US has had it in its crosshairs for decades, eager to neutralize any threat to its dominance in the region. Let's call this what it is: modern-day colonialism. It's about control, profit, and power, with little regard for the sovereignty of nations or the humanity of the people who live there. The US, through its support of Israel's actions, is ensuring that the region remains in chaos, with American interests at the center. And all of this happens under the guise of fighting terrorism or defending democracy. A final word. The ongoing tragedy in Gaza isn't just about land or politics. It's about imperialism. It's about controlling resources, dictating who gets what, and maintaining the US's global dominance, especially as China rises as a formidable competitor. The human toll, whether it's Palestinians living under bombardment or Lebanese citizens facing renewed airstrikes, is brushed aside because the end goal for the US is clear: control the region, control the oil, and control the world's future energy supply. But we can't let these actions go unchecked. It's time to demand accountability, not just from Israel, but from the United States as well. We need to speak out against this new wave of colonialism and recognize the human rights violations happening in the name of US hegemony.